Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another indie comic book review.
Yep.
Got a couple of digital books this week. Got a couple of physical books this week. Fiki. I like that one.
Very good.
And we got a couple of books that didn't come out this week, but they're still equally as awesome. By the way, the books we are reviewing in this episode were released on July 9th, 2014. And we're going to start off with the best comic company out there that we love to start our comic review off with. Actually, our two favorite comic companies.
Yeah.
We're starting here with Pick a Man issue number 1 from Argo Comics. The newest addition to Argo Comics.
Oh my god, this was genius, this book.
This book was an amazing book. Perfect for children.
Absolutely.
100%. And if you are looking for something that's funny, enjoyable for your children,
then this is definitely
and something that'll keep you ajar with humor,
I like what you did there.
I would definitely recommend this book.
Absolutely. But in this comic, it's basically where Pickle Man fights off the Rotten Tomato in the a little bit there. I love the origin story that they gave of Pickle Man, how he became the superhero with the red crystal, I believe that is. Yeah.
He was just a normal pickle, and then he became.
Well, he was
pickle.
a cucumber at first. Then he became
a pickle.
Yeah. But the artwork is just really amazing, and this girl that he saved from the Rotten Tomato was showing him what fun really was, because superhero, was all serious and everything, and he learned about that. But then he also meets up with a weasel.
Yep.
That does riddles, which kind of remind me of the Riddler from Batman, sort of. And Pickleman just solved that one riddle, and I thought it was gonna cause problems at first, but actually they kind of worked. Did it look like they worked together? Or?
No, he just captured him.
Yeah. Basically,
that was the end.
That was the end of the book. So
it's a fun book. Kids will love it. It has a very light feel to it. Light as in funny humor, nice, bright, story, nothing dark, nothing gritty, and it's good for the kids. It's just the age is perfect for children.
Absolutely. So Pickle Man is definitely great, and I really enjoyed reading this from Argo Comics. And speaking of Argo Comics, just don't forget to check out their website at www.argocomics.com.
That's ARGO comics.com.
Yep.
Guys, this is a book your children will definitely love to read. I enjoyed it. I will definitely be showing Tommy as soon as he can read, because right now if I show it to him, all he'll do is on my computer. So yeah, but absolutely 5 out of 5 stars. Awesome story. Can't wait to see more. Hopefully Dan will do more.
Absolutely, because this was just really enjoyable.
The children will definitely benefit from it.
Okay, and now we're going to go to Assailing Comics as writer Chris Charleston, an Open Tree issue number 1 called Freedom Run. And this book, it talks about, let me just put this down, about a boy named Jesse, who has a farm, and after his mother and father have passed away, well, his mother died by giving birth, and then recently after that his father died, so now he has a farm that he has on his own. He finds this horse, which actually the horse was injured, and it was a woman who actually was a horse. So he took her in and took care of her and made sure everything was alright and that she got back on her feet. She did have a little bit of amnesia, of what happened, but then after a while she recovered, and there was this guy who comes knocking on his door that was looking for a horse that has, run about and everything, and it's described as how the woman was the horse, and then he's saying, nope, I did not see her, and then she talks about who that guy was and everything, and he was a really terrible person. So if you want to find out, you could definitely read the comic book to find out what happened. He does find out though that the guy lied to him, so then he just goes there, he starts beating up the guy, and well, I'm not gonna say what this guy wanted to do with the woman. I don't remember what his name was. That was looking for him, looking for her. He kind of looked like a Jonah Hex, sort of, like the way they drew him and everything. But basically, him and his gang, like they beat up Jesse as they're taking the woman, to do stuff and everything, and they tried to burn him in the farm and everything, and practically, there's this one scene where it looked like he turned to a bear or something.
He did turn into a bear.
Yeah, like he turned to a bear to get out of the situation. So this book, I really love the artwork. By the way, the artwork's like really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the horse saved Jesse, and then it went to how in the future they told the daughter, the story about that, and that's how it all became to be. And there was also part mentioned that when he had a farm that he was going to sell it, but he came along with some money that they found, and they kept the farm. So this was a really amazing book, and I liked the new project that Chris Charleston came up with.
And already there's an issue 2 being advertised.
Exactly, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if you want to find out more stuff of what's going on, you go to assalientcomics.com or just assaliant.com.
Leave it to salient.com.
Yeah, salient.com, and you can check out more stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I would give that a 5 out of 5 for issue number 1.
So let's get into the physical
that's
copies
right.
first, as we always do.
Physical copies from Vertigo Comics, Coffin Hill, issue number 9. I don't know about if I'm going to stay or not, but this book, it was, it goes in like this new direction where Doyle and Coffin are doing an investigation of the ice fisher, like I believe that's the ice fisher, and Coffin Hill is looking into some stuff where where he is, and she sees a vision of where it is, and the detective saying that she did research because they don't know that she's not human. So her and Doyle go to the scenery where it is, and I just want to show some artwork. Actually, let me show like right here. Very dark, but it does describe the scene actually. And when they find the guy who they think is it, they go into also the other story of Nathan, and his big brother's really something else. Like, when I learned about him, I wanted to slap him because he is just so, you find out more if you read the comic book, and I hit myself. Very nice.
Good for you.
So, Greg Doyle, that's his name, forgot to say. They look into more investigations of, of another scene and stuff like that. And what they find is that they see the guy on the on the surveillance camera where they saw him the other time, and there's just a lot of stuff that I don't know. Like, it's a little bit interesting, but about doing the whole investigation of the ice fish and stuff like that. I mean, if they're not going to show who's behind the hood in the next issue or so, I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. I mean, it was an okay read, but it's just a toss-up of if I'm going to keep it or not. But up to you guys if you've been reading this, but I'll leave that up to you. From Image, The Walking Dead issue number 129 was a really excellent book that I've read. Did you read this?
Yes, things definitely are different now.
Yeah. And as always, it's in black and white. Here's an example. And it starts off where Negan and Rick are having a talk with each other, and Rick's saying, you know, Negan, you still haven't changed, you know, because Negan wants to, you know, get out of jail, but Rick, being the smart one, saying, I'm just going to keep you in there because you never know what's going to happen. So Carl is going on his new job that Rick wanted to give to him. And
that Rick let him get, actually.
That Rick let him get at.
Now they're going to the hilltop.
Right. To the mill, I believe. So, there was this one scene where the walkers actually were where Rick and Carl were, and this guy who was supposed to patrol it didn't really do his job, and he gets really pissed off at them. I mean, could you blame him? I would be too. And saying, like, you know, like, you're the main artery of everything, and you're supposed to keep us safe, and I'm going to leave you off with a warning. You do it again, you're off. Because that's really the whole point of being that. And these new people that join, and get this, they see Negan in jail, and he's like saying, you know, oh, please rescue me from these horrible people. Like, they're treating us me like an animal and stuff like that.
They're animals. You call
like
them
they're animals. And knowing that they're new, not knowing what happened in the past, they're going to do something to let Negan out, and they're going to be really something else. I knew when these people were going to join them that they were going to be troublemakers, and they were going to be a problem. So now Negan's going to probably lie through their teeth. They're going to be a whole team and everything, and it's going to go haywire. But this was really excellent. I really enjoyed reading this, and I just don't trust those new people. Didn't since day one. And now all we're going to do now is all Zenoscope now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Zenoscope books this week. This book is the only book that wasn't connected to every single other book that we have this week.
Right. And we're going to start off with the Grim Fairy Tales 2014 Swimsuit Special.
The story itself is a very short story. Only a couple of pages. Sela, Leslie, and Robin are just basically chilling, relaxing. And isn't that Red Riding Hood also? Or it's just the three of them?
No, Agent Red was there.
Agent Red, yeah. I thought there was four.
There was four.
They're just relaxing on the beach. They're on a little bit of a vacation. And then they come face to face with Venus.
Right, and
who's
that's
at
their
this
next
club.
Right.
And she's basically the big problem right now.
Here's Venus.
They thought she was dead. She's really alive. And she's trying to recruit humans to worship her and work for her and the Dark Queen. And really no fight breaks out. The girls try to fight her. She uses the people that love her against them, and then she just disappears. She goes to the Dark Queen and says, humans are no good, they're too easy, and that's the whole story.
And then the Queen just says the Age of Darkness draws nigh, so that's to be continued in Grim Fairy Tales issue 100 and Realm War issue number 1 through 12.
Right, so it's basically it's a story that's taking place outside of what mainly is going on, but then the rest of the issue, which is a lot of the issue, is a bunch of pin-ups or swimsuits.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to show the artwork because obviously it's special artwork done for this book. If you'd like to see that artwork, you can...
just close the book and
yes.
you saw me look.
Yes. And if you're interested in checking that artwork out, you could check it out in the book yourself. I would highly recommend it. This is one of the two covers that sold out on Midtown Comics, cover B, and this is cover C, I believe. Cover B was the villains. This is the heroes, or heroines, so to speak. And this was a fun read. I really enjoyed it, and nice pinups in the book. Definitely worth something,
Nice
worth a look into if you guys are interested. If you're like us, then we buy everything from Zenoscope, then you definitely will be checking this out. All right. Now, the rest of the books are all connected through the Age of Darkness Realm Fall. This is part 2 now.
This is part 2 of Realm Knight's one-shot. And in this comic book, what happened in the last part is that, here are the agents who are in it, by the way. that are in this comic book.
And it's very important you pay attention to the numbering or the title, because all of these books, from here all the way through until the last book, not the last book included, all of them are connected.
Yeah, and also Kira is a new character who is also introduced in the Agents as well. And basically what happens in this book is that there's... I'm trying to... Like, there was, like, lots of action in this, like, where there's, like, a huge explosion that happens, and, like, everyone goes different ways. Like, Kira goes one way.
Basically, the Realm Knights are being picked off one at a time, and they're being killed. And we don't know who the person is that's killing them until towards the end of the book. And then we see Sela, and it's like, wait, why all of a sudden has Sela turned on everyone and decided to attack and kill all the Realm Knights?
Because when Helsing met with Sela, sorry, like they had a little bit of a fight scene with each other, and then I was looking and I'm like, you know, okay, something's not right here.
Then yeah, they stop. Leslie decides to work with Sela, and then basically Sela turns on her and kills her.
Yeah, and then Agent Red and I forgot what her name was. Agent Campo.
I think so.
Yeah, they try to fight off against Sela, but then everyone's just, you know, going against one another and something like that, and then everything is just going, you know, just one way or the other. It's just like it was just really crazy.
And then Agent Campo uses this machine that shocks Sela, and it looks like it kills her. And then it turns out, spoiler alert here, it wasn't Sela after all. Who was it? You'll have to find out by reading this issue.
Yeah.
And it absolutely connects to things that are in this week and going into next week.
Yep. So, Sela under mind control and everything, or if it was...
No,
really...
it was fake Sela.
I meant fake Sela.
It was somebody who was disguised as Sela. However, the real Sela in Grim Fairy Tales 99...
Which is this book right here, Realm Falls.
Wait. Oh, wait, no, that's not 99. That's Grim Fairy Tales 2000, Giant Size 2014.
And this is part 3. You see you confusing me and everything? In this comic...
Yeah, this one continues from... This continues from... oh, where was it? It was in the very beginning right here. From Grim Fairy Tales.
98.
Yeah.
During the events of that. And in this issue...
it was before 98 also. It was part of the 2014 annual from last month.
Oh, yeah, the other annual that was... I believe it took place in the Halloween one. Like they made an editor's note or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. But here's some artwork where...
artwork in this book kind of was okay. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was different from what we're used to seeing.
It was
in
different,
the book.
but I kind of was interested in it.
But Sela's fighting the gigantic orc we saw in Grim Fairy. Yeah, in Grim Fairy Tales 98, where we will remember there was about this the guy who was obsessed with the Highborns, and she was fighting somebody in the shadows, and we didn't know who it was, but we find out who that person is here.
Yeah, and Orcus is like really, really powerful, and Robin Hood actually makes an appearance in this, which always puts a smile on me to see that. And also Agent Red and Agent Campo
end up saving Robin.
Right, they save Robin, and yeah, there was an editor's
note.
Shang. Oh yeah, and Shang, yeah. And there's been an editor's note from Realm Knights, Age of Darkness.
Which is the one shot we just reviewed. So this does take place after it. Basically, they tell Robin the story about Sela. They don't know that Sela was fake. They didn't know it was a imposter. So,
you know, he tells them that
it's not. Yeah, Shang says it's not true.
So, so Orcus and Sela. Oh, oops! I skipped a few pages. Like, there's still a fight scene there, and it doesn't look good for the real Sela, because they take her hostage. So now the agents want to go look for Sela, so that way they can
prove she's innocent.
Prove that she's innocent. Exactly. I was just gonna say that. So there's like lots of things that they try to find their way to get to Sela, but you know, she.
The book ends with Sela basically being a prisoner to the Dark Queen.
And yeah, so who didn't see that coming with the Dark Queen?
Yeah, but if you think that's done, if you think that it's over, no, it's not, because
Nope.
then we go into Grim Fairy Tales, issue 99.
Yes, that is issue 99 of Realm Falls Part 4.
In this book, Andre gets saved by Shang and the rest of the gang. Sela is still a prisoner to the Dark Queen, who actually shows that the person who impersonated her,
Which is right here.
looks like the chameleon a little bit. Reminds me of,
Really? Because I thought the face was like the question.
because he has the ability to morph into whatever.
Well, yeah, the shape shifting, so that.
He was in Neverland. This was the person from Neverland also.
Right, but you just. I don't know. So yeah, so.
And again, it recaps Realm Knight.
right.
It shows you what happened in Realm Knight, as well as what happened in the issue we just reviewed, which was Grim Fairy Tales 2014 Annual.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. Okay, so basically, the Dark Queen wants to, you know, she just wants to get rid of the Realm Knights and Hippo Corp as well because she wants to take over that. So at the Hippo Court, it was this guy right here. I can't. Mr. Payne.
Andre.
Yeah, Andre.
That's Hercules.
Oh, I thought it was familiar, but I just couldn't be. You know.
But he's saved by Shang and the group.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really nice page right here.
And Andre at first is like, no, you guys are crazy. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't want to be a part of it. And then Shang tells him, we're the only ones that could save you from what's going on. Andre looks out the door and looks down and sees an army of people coming at him. And he's like, well, all right.
Right. So then they just want to say, Shang actually tells them that the Dark Queen has Sela because they were finding out where she was. So now they know where she is. But
And so does Baba Yaga.
Exactly.
She finds out at the end.
So.
And everything is culminating, building up for Grim Fairy Tales issue 100, which came out this week, which we'll be reviewing next week on the Indie Review.
Yeah, but this was really great stuff. Like all 4 parts, a definite recommendation to
Highly
check out.
recommend them. Awesome artwork, awesome story, all connected, but well worth the read.
But it makes the villains winning, you know, that's kind of a little.
That's why it's called the Age of Darkness.
I know, I'm just saying, you know. Hopefully that sooner or later they'll just come back and just put the Dark Queen in her place, you know. But it is interesting though. I'm not saying, you know, just putting it that way. My book of the week from Xenoscope, and this is the last part of Robin Hood Legend 5 of 5.
And you don't have to worry about me interrupting, because I did look
Yes.
through it, but that's your book.
Yeah, this is definitely my book. So, in this comic issue, Will does die, from what we saw in last issue. And of course, I called it, Gisborne and Robin have a fight with each other. And Much and Marion help out. And here's some artwork. So I knew Gisborne didn't turn over a new leaf because I knew that they were going to fight each other. And she's mad with rage because Will is gone. And, you know, she's like saying, you know, I would finish you, and I should kill you, but you know what? You want to die with your honor, so, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to basically kill you. However, someone else does, and I'll spoil this. Avella kills Gisborne. And that's the end of that. So Robin tells Marion about what happened, and they have a little ceremony for Will Scarlet. I just felt so bad for Robin. I just wanted to just tell her that everything's gonna be alright, you know. It's just, you just feel for the character, you know, like, it was just really something for her. But she does have this whatchamacallit, this purple crystal,
Which allows her
to go home, right, with a portal. So Marion actually wanted to go with her, and actually she has a new hairstyle, which Robin did. It looks kind of okay, sort of. So then they talk about how they had a duo of
They're basically like the new dynamic duo of the
like Batman and Robin,
of the Grim
sort
Fairy
of.
Tales universe.
Exactly. And they talk about how they work together and
It says the end, but it's not.
like
It's the
that.
end of the miniseries,
Yes.
and then starting in August,
The ongoing series. I am looking forward to reading that. It's going to be amazing, and I am definitely just pumped and looking.
I'm
forward
excited
to
for it.
But Robin Hood, all 5 issues of Legend, and remember this is Volume 3. Definitely read Volumes 1 and 2 and Volume 3. All 5 parts get a 5 out of 5. This was just really excellent. Patrick Shand is genius at Robin Hood, and I'm really looking forward to reading more on the ongoing series.
All right, and now we're gonna run into the digital books really quick before we have to switch over, and we're gonna do the only Image book we have this week, and that is Rise of the Magi, issue number 2. How was it, Mike? I figured you'd be able to talk about this quickly.
The thing I kind of found a little bit weird, like there was this toad that they were depending on, which changes things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl saw this guy who was from another dimension that comes into her present day world. And, they could turn invisible and stuff like that. And it was just weird how they were using the toad. I'm not going to...
They were licking it.
Yeah, basically that. To change stuff around and stuff and all that. So they go... to this guy who might give them answers
in
to...
Crow's Peak, Rome, or Ruin.
Yeah. So, I was trying to remember what I said. There was this thing that happened in Rome where there was a bunch of chaos and stuff like that, and that really was the main point of that. But there was this one guy that actually was talking to the two of them about what the whole thing entails and why it is the way it is, which builds even more chaos at the end of the book. So, like that's really the best I can give as a description. I mean,
it kind of ends in chaos if you really look at it.
Right, and now it's up to them to use the toad to change stuff from what it looks like, and
I'm glad I'm not reading this book.
It was an okay read. That's the best I can give for that one. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so just give us a moment and we're going to switch the camera up and then we will continue along with Dark Horse and IDW. Alright guys, welcome back, and we are now in Dark Horse and we are starting off with X, Volume 2, issue number 15. How was it, Mike? It's issue 3 of 4 of Better Off Dead.
Yeah, so in this comic issue, we get, I remembered his name and it just, basically the guy that X is looking for, the Winters, I think his name is. And we learn a little bit about him, and X actually is getting back in form, like exercising with, his mask and his costume and everything. And he asks this guy who he saw, like, saying, where is this guy? Like, where can I find him? So he goes off to look for him, and there's this casual meal that that person has with Winters, or I have a funny feeling I have his name wrong, because he says a couple of panels of who he's looking for, because we saw in the last issue that he wanted to fight off against him. So as they had that meal, everything just went completely opposite and in a different way, because he thought that he poisoned the food and everything, because you know how people think like they did that. So X goes and meets up with the guy, and if it's not Mr. Winters, I apologize, I'm not good with names. And they have a little bit of a fight scene, and Winters just really like gets someone, like he just like pounds him on the floor, and there was a whole big thing. And with the mask now, he's going to say, let's find out who you are under the mask so that way I can watch you die. So
you could look into his eyes.
exactly. So that's going to be continued in the final part to the X series of that. So it was really good. I recommend you guys check it out if you've been reading it like I have. It's really interesting and worth the read.
Alright, I'm going to do this one. Star Wars issue number 19. Been talking about Star Wars. We just did the recap last night.
Well, you did.
So this is a new issue now. And we're introduced to this character whose name is, I want to get it right. It's, I believe, right here in... She's being chased by a bounty hunter. She's in some type of a junk planet. And as soon as I get her name, she sends out a distress call to the Empire. Here we go. Sarin Song. And she sends out a distress call to, not the Empire, to the Rebellion and Princess Leia, more specifically. She's a friend of Leia's, and basically she needs extraction. She needs to get rescue. So Leia enlists Han and Luke with her to answer her friend's distress call. Basically, it's a rescue mission. They go off on the rescue mission. The artwork is amazing in this book. So Han, Chewie, Luke, and Leia head to the planet, which the planet's name is Lotho Minor. It's basically a junk planet. Everyone who's anyone knows what it is. It's a perfect place for smugglers. That's how Han knows about it. Or Han, however you want to say his name. However, her friend, it's not safe for her to be there anymore, so Song leaves the planet. And as Leia shows up to the planet, they get attacked by the bounty hunter who was hunting Leia's friend. So they end up leaving. So they literally, she misses her friend by a couple of hours maybe, and her friend is out there traveling around saying, Leia will find me, I'm going to go here. So now it's like they're missing each other, and now all Leia wants is to find her friend. And Luke's, of course, concerned for Leia because Leia seems kind of distressed. And she says, as soon as I find my friend, I could say that things are going to be okay. There's also stuff about Mothma in here. If you're interested in finding out, check out the issue. I highly recommend it. It says next issue is to be concluded, and that is because the next issue is the final issue of Star Wars from Dark Horse, because after August, Dark Horse is losing the Star Wars license, and it's a shame because this is a good series, and it's going back to Marvel. So hopefully Marvel doesn't ruin it.
That's really a shame.
That is, if Marvel makes Star Wars comics to begin with. But I'd highly recommend it. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm loving the Star Wars series, and it's sad to see it go. Next is Michael's Terminator book, which is here.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
The Terminator Enemy of My Enemy, issue number 4. So in this comic book, the detective is now working with the robotic...
the Terminator.
The Terminator, right. And they have a talk scene about, basically about that woman's name that was in the other issue. Where are you going?
I'm trying to find out her name.
Because if you say the name...
Both of them are going for Ellis Fong, I know that.
Yeah, Ellis Fong, yeah.
Pharaoh.
No, Ellis Fong. You're right.
No, I know, but the agent is called Pharaoh.
Oh, Pharaoh, yeah. So Pharaoh and the Terminator are basically going to get Ellis because of, all the other issues that happen. And it's really great to see that a Terminator is actually working with them, but you have these other people who want to execute the Terminator from what we saw a couple of issues back because they see them as a threat. So they try to shoot the Terminator.
And it fails.
and it does fail because what he said is that, to Farrell, like saying, nothing will kill me because we're going to do this together and everything because of all the bullets that they tried to shoot at it, and
Yeah, but the Terminator warns Farrell, though, once all is said and done, he's going to kill not only Fong, but her as well.
right,
Because she knows too much.
because that's so he said once she dies, then you're gonna die as well, and then but Farrell says, that it won't be easy to try to kill her. Remember she said that, so just keep that in mind. So the artwork's like really amazing, like really realistic in some panels.
Mm-hmm.
And Farrow sees the person that actually looked like that they took out the Terminator, but there's more into it of what's going to happen next, including the other robots that are shown, and
Things don't look good by the end of this issue for Farrell and the Terminator.
exactly. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to happen there.
So we're now in Terminator Salvation, the final battle, issue 7 of 12. You did read this, though, right?
I did read that, and what I read from it is
It's really good. So basically, Parnell...
yeah.
Skynet doesn't trust Parnell anymore. And it wants to destroy Parnell because Dr. Kogan tells him, the Skynet, he's taking over everything, and then eventually, in 24 hours, he's going to take over you, and then he's going to overwrite you, and he is going to become Skynet. So now Skynet wants to destroy Parnell before it's too late. However, in the past, you have the 3 Terminators that went back to protect Parnell, and you have Simon, who's looking to stop the Terminators and kill Parnell before he's executed in prison.
Right.
So the Terminators decide to change their objective from protecting Parnell to killing, what's his name first? Simon first.
Exactly.
I want to get his last name, though. No, let's just say Simon, because that's all I'm getting.
Right.
So yeah, so they want to kill Simon because he's not only a threat to the plan, but he's a threat to them. Back in the future, though, however, or the present, however you want to consider Salvation,
There's a guy that actually comes back.
Marcus actually comes back.
And can I explain what
Go
Marcus
ahead.
actually tells them? Yeah. So Marcus actually tells them that Skynet actually wants help from the team.
From John Connor, more
Right.
specifically.
But here's the thing, though. If they refuse the offer, and if Skynet dies, and if the new
Parnell.
if Parnell takes over, the whole human and
Terminator race.
civilization, it will just be destroyed, and the Terminators will follow Parnell's order, and then everything's just going to be all twisted around. So they have to make sure to work with Skynet and also make sure Skynet doesn't die.
Right. Also in this issue, you get a little background story on not only what happened to Parnell and how he made it to the future, but also Marcus.
Exactly. And it was an interesting story how they actually brought him back to life. You just gotta read the comic book. I mean, I don't want to give too much to... because we read it. We don't want to give too much away because this is just really, really exciting
and then they don't trust Marcus at first. They think Skynet's is tricking them.
yeah, like making lies, like saying, what if it's a trap?
But then we find out it's not because they find out that there's a human voice within the Terminators. Parnell's starting to not trust Skynet because Skynet wants to destroy him. But Parnell says, you know what? I'm going to help rid you of your John Connor problem because they shouldn't be allowed near an open time portal.
Yeah, so
it
now
whatever it was, time door. So now Parnell's going after John Connor and his people, which Skynet doesn't want because Skynet wants John Connor to help them.
Right, so hopefully things will go, the way of Skynet not dying, because then things won't then look good for John Connors and the team.
And then speaking of weekly recaps that or monthly recaps that I just did, we're now in IDW and we're in Transformers More Than Meets the Eyes, issue number 31. The mystery of the disappearing things continues. First, the lost light disappears. Now the entire crew is scattered in shuttles. To make things worse, however, crew members are now starting to disappear one by one. Lots of dialogue, almost too much. It's ridiculous how heavily dialogued this book out of all the Transformer books is. But let's say, long story short, people keep disappearing. They keep trying to figure out why and how people are disappearing. And then finally, at the very end of the book, what's his name? Shoot, I forgot his name now. Let me get his name so I can tell you. Nightbeat figures out why everyone's disappearing. Basically, because they're all the original crew of the Lost Light. So anybody who is not part of the original crew of the Lost Light, like Megatron, Nightbeat, everybody else, they're not disappearing. So he's like so proud of himself. He's patting himself on the back, and then Megatron goes, "You figured this out after everyone disappeared. We were unable to save anybody. You didn't figure anything out." And then they end up face to face with what looks like the remains of the Lost Light. Looks like the Lost Light anyway. Or this gigantic ship. One or the other. And it says to be continued in House of Horrors. That's the next issue. What they call the next issue.
But I'm just saying what title.
Heavy dialogue, and really just, it's a heavy dialogue book that really hurts the book a little bit in my opinion. It's a good read. It was an average read. I would definitely say you check it out, but Robots in Disguise definitely still has the tops for me now with the whole Transformers line. Mm-hmm. So Mike, next we have Angry Birds Comics.
Issue number 2.
How was it?
As always, it was just really hilarious and absolutely for the kids also. So, in the first issue, we just go back a little bit because there was 3 stories and
Let It Be, Eagle of Troy, and Piggyland.
Right. So in the first story, you know, like the 3 bluebirds, like they see, like, you know, what the pigs are doing and everything, and
trying to steal the eggs.
And trying to steal the eggs with using the vacuum cleaner, and you know, like it looked like that they got it, but inside the vacuum cleaner was a whole stack of bees, and they actually stung the king, and I thought that was pretty funny and clever too that they did that. Then the second story, there's this what was her name? Like, you know, like
Tilda?
Yeah, Tilda tells them that, you know, we should be nice to the pigs and give them a gift. And then, like, saying, wait, like, what? Are you crazy? You know, after they were trying to steal our eggs, you know, and all that other stuff. So, what they do is that, you know, like, the pigs actually came up with a plan.
Trojan horse plan.
A Trojan horse plan to give to the birds. And then they're, like, saying, wait a minute, there's something fishy going on here. And they figure out that they were in there, and not only that, they had the eggs in there as well. So, you know, it's a good thing that they found out that they were in there and just destroyed them. So that was something else. Those pigs, you know, I thought the monkeys were worse. The pigs are even more than anything. So then the third and last book, we see that the pigs actually made a amusement park called Piggyland. And in Piggyland is where, you know, like where they go on the rides and everything. And the birds are like, you know, like they're having fun and everything, and like saying, oh, wait a minute. This is a big distraction for them to get the eggs and everything. So we had all this fun time, you know, with, and some of the rides, to be honest with you, were kind of creepy. The way I saw it. And they also, it was the third story they had the eggs. My apologies, not the second. It was the third stories that they had the eggs, and then they took it back. I thought it was the second story, but it was all mixed up. So then, basically, they said, you know, we're going to tear it down, but then the 3 bluebirds said, but we got, what do we call it?
They gave us season passes.
Like, season passes, like, after that, then we'll the it. I thought that was pretty funny. But, really something great for the kids to read, and I'm enjoying. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised the Angry Birds have gotten as big as they have.
Yeah. Have you been reading it?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised because you like Angry Birds. But,
And then finally this week, Mike has Star Slammers, issue number 4. How was
you
it?
thought that was the one that you reviewed before was heavy dialogue? This one is extremely heavy
Oh my
dialogue.
God. I'm looking at it.
There's this like kid that keeps doing the replays of the mission that they keep doing over and over again. I'm like saying, wait a minute, I just read that. I had to go up and down, like saying like why they keep replaying the same panel. So then, as the issue kept going, there was I'm gonna remember her name, that actually goes to meet up with the boy. Like, there's something else that happens in the middle, and you could definitely check it out because it's really not, So it started with a V.
Vidit?
No, not
Vidiot.
No, like for her.
Yeah. Oh, don't. My name is Reza.
Like it
I don't
started
know.
with a V, but basically, what she does is that she tries to, like calm him from doing all these crazy stuff. But the boy's name is Vidit, like what you said. And what she does is that she uses her powers to try to. They kept calling her Sir.
She's a colonel.
Well, Colonel, I guess. So the Colonel, I'll just call the Colonel. So the Colonel gets to his head and then just, tries to make him do good stuff. Or something in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, there's like this guy who just came in and just killed every single person. And it was like really brutal and something else. And Vidit actually was supposed to be responsible for what happened in the door, and then he's like saying, oh no, if I tell her this, she's going to kill me. So she goes in the door, and she finds out what happened. So one by one, she's going to identify the buyer and something like that. I don't know if I'm going to come back to reading an issue.
It doesn't look that interesting, to be
It
honest.
really doesn't, because first of all, it was heavy dialogue. Second of all, the beginning one drove me nuts because I thought I was reading like more than once with that same panel, and that's the best I can explain. If you guys want to check it out and see for yourselves, go ahead. But I just gave you guys what I remember. So
guys, feel free to leave in the comments below your likes, dislikes, questions, comments, recommendations, anything you'd like to say about the books we reviewed here or books we haven't reviewed. Feel free, and your comments will be heard this week on the weekly comic book call this Friday. Guys, we're gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con. It's going to be hitting us starting Wednesday. Going to be amazing stuff. Look forward to a lot of stuff on comic related and comic Frontline. We're going to be covering everything. We're going to have articles on the hour, every hour. Both sites will be updating by the hour. So there's going to be new stuff every time you come on the site, so don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together we are your #1 source for comic related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And believe me, this week, including especially the weekend, there's going to be content coming out of both sites like you wouldn't believe, with all the news that's going to be going on in the comic book world. So until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.